Hey everybody, D&D recap, and as you can tell by, the title and shit, this is another new series of these. Cobra Jones has started DMing a new game, and it has Abby Normal 1, Tango Dixie Comic, and Rob Cardinal Virtues, and myself in it. And this is actually the second time we played this. The first time we played it was 2 weeks ago, but there there wasn't like really enough to kind of justify doing a recap. So I kind of wanted to wait for more stuff to happen, kind of like what I do sometimes with Psych Lords with the campaigns for those ones. Sometimes it like if we only have like one real fight or we only go like one place or something, in that campaign, I'll wait until we play the next one and kind of mush it all together into one video. So, so in this campaign, we are in I forget the name of the world, but it's basically a fantasy version of Scotland. That's the kingdom where I want to say Teir. I'm not sure if that's right. I know it started with a T. But yeah, we're basically in a medieval fantasy version of Scotland. And, kind of standard venture and hook to get us all there. Local lord needs some fucking venturers slash goons to go out and do his fucking dirty work for him because he has nobody fucking competent working for him. So, um, let me think of who's playing who. I can't remember any of their names. I'm bad with names. Like, if you're a long time viewer of mine, you know that shit. But, like, for any of the new people, I am fucking horrid with names. So, Abby Normal 1 is playing a oracle, a fire oracle. And oracles they're, they're kind of like clerics, but they're weirder. You know, unlike, unlike a cleric who they get their powers by worship, by worship, like actively worshiping the gods. Oracles, they're made by gods. Like, it's very rare for somebody to be like, oh, I want to be an oracle. No, it's something happens and you're basically forced into the fucking life path of the oracle. And for Abby's character, she's basically haunted. So I'm guessing the ghost that surrounded her, you know, set something on fire at one point in time in her past. Like, so far they've only, like, rattled shit and that kind of things, but, like, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for there to be, like, oh, there's some candles and they're shaking. Oh, and they fall on the wooden floor. I'm just waiting. Tango Dixie is playing a rogue. Um, Trying to think. So far, he's kind of done like the standard Tango thing. He's like whenever he plays a rogue, he is very business oriented. He likes to play business oriented rogues. He likes being a teamster basically. So that's kind of like what he's going for. And Rob, since we're not really doing the evil campaign anymore, Rob has basically taken, at least from like what I'm seeing, he's taken the character he was telling me he was going to play in that campaign and is playing it in this campaign, and that is an evil lawyer An evil, I know. Holy shit, man. An evil lawyer. Fuck. Well, he's an evil cleric. Um, Basically, in this campaign, it uses the standard Greyhawk. Does it use the standard? I can't remember because I'm not playing a cleric, so I don't give two shit what gods aren't and aren't in the campaign. So I know that's probably going to bite me in the ass if I end up wanting to play a character, like a cleric or something. But basically, Rob says he. Oh yeah, it is fucking Pathfinder. I mean, not it is Greyhawk gods. Thinking about it, so because I remember now. Rob's cover religion is he's a priest of Bacab. Bacab is basically like the god of magic and sages and shit like that. When in actuality, he is a worshiper of Vecna, god of secrets. And he uses his lawyering skills to basically you know promote his fucking dubious brand of evil. Also, by the way, he is a Aasimar, which they're basically like tieflings. Which if you've heard me talk about tieflings on here before, if you haven't, tieflings are basically they're not like they're not like a human and a demon or a devil had a baby. That would be a half fiend. They're like if the half fiend had a baby with like a normal human. That would be like a tiefling. Or like your great great grandfather was like a half fiend and it kind of stayed dormant, but then like a couple of generations, like you're the unlucky one, you get fucking popped with that shit. Aasimars are like that, but instead of having the blood of things like demons and devils and demodans and all the other nasty fucking assorted shit that plagues the underworld of the outer planes, Aasimars are related to good outsiders like angels and fucking angels. So Rob Rob's character, he looks like a normal dude, but he's got like 6 foot wings like fucking Angel from X-Men. Like that's honestly how I picture him, is like Angel from X-Men 3, fucking Last Stand. Just like shirtless and all. So, let me talk about my character before I move on to the action. Now, my character's a little different from most of the characters I talk about on here a lot, in the fact that he is not evil. I know. Shocking. And also another thing is he isn't actively trying to fucking kill members of the fucking party. Oh man, that fucking in the one I know that's going to be another update, which I'm probably going to end up doing tomorrow sometime, but in the one hand, that shit blew up in my face, but on the other hand, it fucking didn't. Oh. I love having fucking trump cards. I'm just going to fucking say that. You'll have to watch that fucking D&D recap to fucking understand what I'm talking about, but let's continue with this one. So, my character is a neutral good half-orc weapon master, and the weapon of choice he has is the spike chain. And I couldn't think of a name, so since I had recently saw Django Unchained, I was like, fuck it, I'll name him Django. So, and there we go, Django. He's a nasty fucking dude too. Like, to be fair, he is a bit gimped because like recently Pathfinder, they've been doing some revisions on some things. So like for instance, the spike chain, that used to have a 10-foot reach, and it used to be the best reach weapon too, because unlike most reach weapons, like most weapons with reach are weapons like a long spear or a halberd or something like that. Which, weapons that, like, you can attack somebody, not far away, but relatively far away, but you can't really attack them up close if they close into you. But with a spike chain, like, anybody in that fucking area where you threaten with a spike chain, you could fucking hit them. Spike chains don't have reach anymore, so that really fucking nerfed the spike chain. The other thing that nerfs my character, and this, I don't have to worry about this yet, but they took out improved critical as a feat in Pathfinder. And what improved critical did was it doubled your threat range for critical hits. So, for example, a spike chain, they can only crit naturally on a 20. If I had improved critical spike chain, then I could crit on an 18, 19, or 20. So my guess is they probably took out improved critical because like it probably was a little too fucking strong and not very easily balanced. Like there's magic, like they kept in Keen, which Keen is basically the magical equivalent of it. Like it's a weapon ability you can apply to weapons. And thinking about it, I can still get, because my weapon's piercing, so I can still get a Keen fucking spike chain and still get my fucking better crit range, but it is just kind of weird. Like, and they never give like warnings when they're gonna fucking take something out of Pathfinder, and they've done this before too, because like when they originally came out, Cure Minor Wounds was still a spell, and in the older versions of D&D and stuff, Cure Minor Wounds was basically a 0 level version of the normal cure spells. You could only cure 1 hit point. But in Pathfinder, 0 level spells work a lot differently than they did in D&D. In Pathfinder, you can cast 0 level spells at will. So, basically that, and for a while they had Cure Minor Wounds, but like it became kind of apparent quickly that, oh, this shit is fucking, broken. Because, after a battle, your cleric could just stand there and be like, Cure Minor Wounds, 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 Cure Minor Wounds. And they ended up replacing it with Stabilize, which isn't too bad. It stabilizes a creature that's dying and it brings them up to 0 hit points, which isn't bad. Like it's really good. Stabilize is really useful. Because, like, unlike in past editions of D&D, when you hit somebody with a cure spell, it doesn't automatically take them up to 0 HP and then heal them from there. Like, for example, say I was at, like, -2 HP and I get cured for 8 points. In past editions, you would go up to 0 and then you would get the 8 points back. In Pathfinder, I would only get 6 points back because like it doesn't count, it doesn't count the -2. Like the -2 gets taken out of it. God, I'm not even talking about the fucking game, and it's like fucking 14 minutes into this video. So, we're all in the capital for varying reasons. We need money for shit. I'm guessing, at least half the party has some very nefarious reasons why they need money, but hey, you know what? My character doesn't care. Like, he's good. He's not, annoying good. That's why I went neutral good. I didn't go chaotic good because I was like, Because if I go chaotic good, I'd still have chaotic. And chaotic would allow me to do the occasional fucked up thing. Because, like, I basically made a promise with Abby Normal. I was like, because she was like, you haven't played a good character in forever. I don't even think you can. And I was like, well, you know what? Fuck you. I can too play a good character. And fucking I made this guy. So, oh man, it was hard today because like I was telling Rob and Dixie like, oh man, you could do this, you could do that, you could do this, and like Abby at one point was like, Matt, you're good in this game, and I was like, I know, sometimes it's hard. So, um, so when we get into town, right off the bat, the town is fucking attacked by orcs. Which is a little awkward for me, you know, being a half orc, but whatever. Fucking assholes are assholes. I'll fucking dice them up with my fucking chain regardless. So, we. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna kind of glance over this fight because I don't remember a lot of the particulars. I remember we fucking kicked some fucking major ass. Despite the fact that, like, this group is has a problem that is like that a lot of the other groups I've been playing in recently don't have, and the fact that it is not a very front heavy party. Like I'm the only real frontline fighter. Dixie specializes in bows. Rob's character, he's got like a negative energy burst thing, and and Abby's character, you know, she's more spellcastery than clerics. Like even Rob's cleric, he's I think Rob is a cleric. Even Rob's cleric isn't you know like the big beefy kind of like pseudo Templar that a lot of clerics in D&D eventually end up becoming. But but like right off the bat, like the orcs, like one of their orcs fucking gets enlarged, and you know that fucking beats the shit out of me. I beat the shit out of it though too, but like Abby, Abby helped out a fucking lot in that fight. I gotta say, Abby is really good with playing spellcasters. I've noticed that with her. Like she's really fucking gotten into the groove with spellcasters. Like she hit it with a fiery disarm, which basically like it made the weapon like he was holding red fucking hot, so he had to drop it. And then Rob fucking enchanted the fucking stupid asshole, and then he fucking ended up killing one of his own fucking stupid orcs. It was hilarious. And Dixie ended up killing another fucking orc. I think I ended up charging the fucker and like popping his fucking head off cause like my weapon in this game is nasty. Like the spike chain in and of itself, it's not that fucking strong. It's only like 2d4 damage. But I have a huge fucking strength bonus. I have fucking power attack. It's a magical weapon. I also have a fucking class ability that gives me extra fucking damage. I have a fucking feat that gives me extra fucking damage. And best of all, I have a little ability on my weapon called Vicious, which allows me to do an additional 2d6 damage. The downside of the Vicious ability, though, is it deals 1d6 damage to me. So it's a little bit of strategy there. It's like, okay, how tough is this fucker? Is this the fucker I should use Vicious on, or is that guy the guy I should use Vicious on? Like, I had that dilemma today when we got into the fight. But, so once we drove off the orcs, the marshal and the knights of the town came up, and they were very thankful for us doing this. And he decided to invite us to a dinner. That no, it wasn't the marshal. It was like the lord or something. So he decided to invite us to a dinner that was at the marshal's house, and this is where Tango's character becomes very evil because Tango has connections with the black market, so he's the one who sells our weapons and stuff because he can get better prices for it. And when he was talking with his, Thieves Guild connections, basically he mentioned like, "Oh, I'm going to the party at the marshal's house," and they were like, do you would you mind maybe mapping it out a bit, because we've never been able to get somebody up in there, and Tango fucking did. So I see an assassination in the fucking future with the marshal. I'm not gonna get attached to that NPC. So we went to the house. Dinner was quite nice. Um, Abby's ghost made an appearance, but nobody really noticed. Although it's funny, that was it did affect some candles, but thankfully that time the candles only blew out. They didn't just. Oh man, how fucked would that been if like Abby's ghost right then and there, like, the candelabra falls on the floor, starts a massive fucking fire, everybody dies. Like, that would have been fucked up, man. So basically, we're given our quest at the dinner, and it's basically the northern part of the island isn't really explored and mapped that well, and they've sent past groups out there, but they've been attacked. Like, one group never fucking came back, so like they don't even know what the fuck happened to that one. But one group, one person was able to come back. They were like permanently crippled though, but they managed to did come back and was able to tell everybody what happened, and it was like goblins. Like, they got fucking overrun by goblins and shit. So after the dinner, and this is where tonight's game started. After the dinner, we decide. Well, we sleeping first because it's nighttime and shit. After the dinner, we decide to go talk to the adventurer who came back. Um, he gave us. I'm trying to remember the information. He gave us some pretty useful information. But I'm blanking on it right now. Fuck. Ah, well. I'll probably remember it when I fucking get to the point where I'm like, oh, that's the fucking shit he was talking about. So, we rent a wagon and we start heading towards, another fucking thing I can't remember the name of. Fucking, fucking, basically fucking Elf Town. We'll call it Elf Town for the rest of the video. Even though it's elves and halflings who live there. It's basically a town of, like, literally, one side of the town is fucking elf, one side of the town is halfling. So, we start hitting up, and probably like halfway there, we fucking get stopped by a cart in the middle of the road and some bandits who are like, "Give us your shit," and we're like, "Fuck you." Well, Abby kind of wanted to try talking to him, but once, when they threatened to fucking steal our shit, that was like when Rob and Tango got like really fucking indignant, and it was like, these guys have to die in the most painful fucking way. So we start attacking. Tango gets in some solid hits. Rob fucking uses his energy burst to real fucking good effect. I managed to kill, well, not kill one guy, but like almost kill him, like to the point where like we really thought he was fucking dead, and I got a crit on him too. So like I fucking gimped him up. I like fucked up his elbow and shit. But the real fucking star of this battle, once again, Abby, because like first off, like she got a really good intimidate check, like right off the bat. And she was like, "Fucking, you guys better surrender, or our reinforcements are gonna fucking come." And they didn't surrender outright, but that scared them. And then she she made really fucking brilliant use of the ghost sound spell to make it sound like there were like 20 or 30 people coming up behind us, and that made the rest of the people fucking surrender. Because by this point, one of them had already fled. One had surrendered. One was dead slash unconscious, and there was a wizard, and you know he went invisible. So until the end of the battle, we weren't sure if he just ran, or if he was just waiting for us to like drop our guard. It was like, fucking, guess what, bitches? Invisible fireball, kaboom. So this is the part where like evil Napalm really wanted to come out, because like Rob and Dixie are talking about like, ooh, we can fucking enslave these guys. Ooh, we can fucking torture them. Ooh, we can fucking like hobble them and leave them in the woods for the fucking bears to fucking eat, and just like all this fucking shit. And I'm like, that sounds like a lot of fun. Sure wish I was fucking doing some of that stuff. So, it wasn't too bad though. We got a free wagon out deal, 2 horses. So we make it to the elf town, and we learned some newer stuff. Well, one thing we did learn from the bandits, we learned like the location of their camp. So once we get to the elf town and we start talking to the leader of the elf, 3 new places. I mean, 2 new places become like available to us as well. So we got a lot of options with the elf town. I think that's where we're gonna be doing a lot of shit for the time being, because like not only is there the bandit camp that we're probably gonna have to deal with at some point, but there's also the goblins, which we now know are in the northeast, and we really don't want to deal with the goblins now, because if they can fucking hobble those people, like they could probably hobble us right now. So, but the thing that's kind of like drew our attention is there's some ruins that there's a lot of weird shit going around them. I think, like, if I remember correctly, you know there's like something there that's trying to fix them up, and like nobody knows what's going on there. Like there's something there that's like cleaning fuck, what, trimming the hedges and shit and picking up rubble, but like nobody's seen what's been doing this. And that's where we ended the game. We decided to go investigate the ruins, and that was it. So yeah, pretty pretty fun game so far. I like it. I like it a lot, because like this is kind of like the cool down game, because like Psych Lord's game is fucking it's insane and tiring sometimes with the amount of things that get thrown at us. So it's kind of nice in CJ's game where it's like, oh, I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about fucking hounds of fucking Tantalus fucking jumping out every 5 fucking seconds at me. But that's a fucking story for another update. The ghost that surrounded her, you know, set shit, set something on fire at one point in time in her past. Like, so far they've only, like, rattled shit and that kind of things, but, like, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for there to be, like, oh, there's some candles and they're shaking. Oh, and they fall on the wooden floor. I'm just waiting. Tango Dixie is playing a rogue. Um, Trying to think. So far, he's kind of done like the standard Tango thing. We're basically in a medieval fantasy version of Scotland, and kind of standard venture and hook to get us all there. Local lord needs some fucking venturers slash goons to go out and do his fucking dirty work for him because he has nobody fucking competent working for him. So, um, let me think of who's playing who. I can't remember any of their names. I'm bad with names. Like, if you're a long time viewer of mine, you know that shit. But, like, for any of the new people, I am fucking horrid with names. So, Abby Normal 1 is playing a oracle, a fire oracle. And oracles they're, they're kind of like clerics, but they're weirder. You know, unlike, unlike a cleric who they get their powers by worship, by worship, like actively worshiping the gods. Oracles, they're made by gods. Like, it's very rare for somebody to be like, oh, I want to be an oracle. No, it's something happens and you're basically forced into the fucking life path of the oracle. And for Abby's character, she's basically haunted. So I'm guessing, sometimes like if, we only have like one real fight or we only go like one place or something, in that campaign, I'll wait until we play the next one and kind of mush it all together into one video. So, so in this campaign, we are in I forget the name of the world, but it's basically a fantasy version of Scotland. That's the kingdom where I want to say Teir, but I'm not sure if that's right. I know it started with a T, but yeah. Hey everybody, D&D recap, and as you can tell by the title and shit, this is another new series of these. Cobra Jones has started DMing a new game, and it has Abby Normal 1, Tango Dixie comic, and Rob Cardinal Virtues, and myself in it. And this is actually the second time we played this. The first time we played it was 2 weeks ago, but there wasn't like really enough to kind of justify doing a recap, so I kind of wanted to wait for more stuff to happen, kind of like what I do sometimes with Psych Lords, with the campaigns for those ones.